PlayStation Plus gives you access to hundreds of titles in their library. From action-packed adventures like God of War to intense battles in Returnal, you can dive into a fresh title each month. There are 3 memberships to choose from, each one giving you access to extra content, depending on your style. If you're looking to get into online multiplayer, check out the Essential membership, which gives you access to exclusive discounts, monthly games, cloud storage, game help, and the PlayStation Plus collection. If you're looking to expand your gaming horizons, the Extra membership gives you everything in the Essential membership, plus the Ubisoft Plus Classics library with titles like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a massive game catalog to dive into. And finally, the Premium membership is the ultimate experience, giving you everything in the Essential and Extra memberships, plus access to game trials, the Classics catalog of great games from previous PlayStation generations, and so much more. But with so many options in the palm of your hand, it can be hard to know where to get started, and thankfully, IGN Playlist is a handy tool on IGN.com you can use to keep track of the games that you've completed, you're currently playing, or want to play in the future. It's a great way to keep your library organized, access guides for games you're currently playing, or find games you might not have even heard of. So to get your throwback backlog started, here is my IGN playlist of classic games available on PlayStation Plus's Premium membership, presented by the all-new PlayStation Plus. Without question, the PlayStation Plus game I've been most eager to get my hands on is Tokyo Jungle. We have gotten no shortage of gritty post-apocalyptic games about survival, but usually they have you playing as a human, and they definitely don't ever have you playing as a Pomeranian dog. Long story short, all the humans are dead and a whole bunch of animals have taken over Tokyo, thus the title, Tokyo Jungle. And you start small, you play as smaller stuff like dogs and bunnies, and then you gradually work your way up to bigger animals like kangaroos and giraffes, and then for some reason later on there's also dinosaurs. I don't know. The game is wonderfully weird and an extremely underrated gem that everybody should try out. If you know what an animal is, you can probably enjoy it on some level, because animals are great. Maybe an apocalypse full of adorable animals isn't your speed because your speed is extremely fast? Well, I have you covered. Motorstorm Apocalypse is the 3rd and final mainline entry in one of the sickest racing series ever. Rather than focus on realistic driving experiences, these games answer the age-old question of how sick would it be if you could drive a dump truck so fast that it exploded for maybe no reason? And the answer is extremely frickin' sick. Motorstorm's wackadoo medley of dune buggies and dirt bikes and monster trucks that have no reason racing against each other because they're all totally different classes of vehicle has always had some Mad Max car chase DNA, but Apocalypse totally embraces that and then turns them loose on this whole wasteland full of dilapidated tracks, which will actually become more dilapidated over the course of the race, where like buildings are falling over and there's avalanches and earthquakes and holes in the ground are opening up, and maybe you're going to drive into one of the holes, maybe one of the buildings is going to fall on you. It's pretty cool. Either way, definitely doesn't make for a normal racing experience. It makes for a really cool one. Photo modes have become pretty standard in first-party Sony titles, and Apocalypse is actually one of the first games I remember having one, and it's great because even if your car explodes because you drove at full speed into a pile of rubble, it actually makes a really good photo op where you can sort of slow things down and focus on what's going on and really capture how completely bonkers the destruction physics are in this game, and more importantly, how totally destroyed your car is. The tire is over there, your dude is over there, the muffler, no clue. If everything I just said gave you a headache and you'd rather play the exact opposite of Motorstorm Apocalypse, well, great news, because PlayStation Plus also has Proteus. This dreamy indie game could definitely be described as a walking simulator, and really that's all you do. But you walk around in a beautifully minimalist abstract landscape, watching seasons change. I've always described Proteus as a playable painting. Each playthrough is unique thanks to its procedurally generated levels and music, and it might not count as fun in the, loud, noisy, distracting sense, but it is extremely relaxing and just an overall really lovely experience. I used to play it on my Vita before bed. It was nice. Another Vita favorite of mine that's come to PlayStation Plus is Tales from Space: Mutant Blobs Attack. This one's from Drinkbox, the studio that gave us the Guacamelee series, and blobs don't have arms or legs, so this one forgoes, kicking and punching and suplexing in favor of some fun, blobby puzzle platforming. And it oozes, in some cases very literally, cartoony charm. If the title didn't give it away, you are a mutant blob trying to go back to space, which you do by attacking stuff, namely Earthlings, which you absorb into your gelatinous mass like an evil, wet, neon green Katamari. It's a good time. Speaking of bright colors, here's a game that is full of them. Enslaved: Odyssey to the West is, at face value, a third-person action game, but upon closer inspection, it's a perfect storm of cool ideas and creative people. It's a retelling of Journey to the West, the ancient Chinese fairy tale that inspired Dragon Ball, among other things, but it's set in an extremely vibrant, colorful, post-apocalyptic wasteland at a time when most video games were 50 Shades of Brown. It's got Ninja Theory's trademark punchy combat and a story that's co-written by Alex Garland, who's since gone on to direct some killer sci-fi movies like Ex Machina and Annihilation. And its hero, Monkey? Well, he's voiced by Andy Serkis before he was famous for playing primates. All in all, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool ideas, cool game. So which games stood out to you and which ones would you add for yourself? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to click the links in the description to go to my IGN playlist and the full list of games available on PlayStation Plus so you can easily add them to an IGN playlist of your own. IGN Playlist is the best way to keep track of the games that you're focusing on, and it's a great way to keep your backlog organized or find tons of new games you might not have heard of. The all-new PlayStation Plus is available now and gives you access to all of these games and tons more. Find out more about all the benefits like cloud streaming and games in the Classics catalog by visiting PlayStation.com/PS Plus. And for all things gaming, you are already in the right place, IGN.